Hello friends, I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying the summer. It is such a beautiful day. Oh my goodness, I was out here for the entire day in the shade, of course, just planting bulbs and other stuff and just doing some maintenance in the garden. Friends, I want to share with you, it's all about pink. Okay, pink, 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 and colors galore in the back here. So let's start at this end. Here we have our beautiful pink hydrangea. This is only one plant in here, friends, and I just love how it cascade. Look at that, see that? Just beautiful. And then below here we have the echinacea, looking so pretty with the orange. I'm telling you, everything is just looking so lush, friends. If this is your first time, special welcome. And if you're coming back, I'm so happy you guys are here. I garden in zone 6B7A in Pennsylvania. So friends, I was thinking, okay, we in July, first week in July, and the garden is looking so beautiful, right? What about August? What's gonna happen to all these summer blooming plants? It's just amazing how everything is just popping. It's just gorgeous, no complaining here. But anyways, let's start with our echinacea here. Let me go up to the step here and give you this beautiful view I see here when I'm in my dining room. It's so pretty. You can just see all the colors just radiating with the sunlight. Absolutely gorgeous. And then let's come around here. And then look at this bright orange echinacea, and of course, you know, our pollinators, they're enjoying the echinacea, just loving them. Everything is doing really well here, even down to the containers. I have to give you a patio tour soon of what I have in the containers. And then our balloon flower, look at it. It has open. Just look at that, friends. Everything is so pretty. More echinacea, and most of these echinacea, friends, they reseeded themselves, and I don't know what's going on with the echinacea. They are huge, larger than expected, but I'm not complaining. They look so lush and so healthy. And then here is this St. John's wort I've been obsessing with. Just love it. And we have more orange echinacea there with the pink one. And then this one is a Nandina. I just love the neon color here between the bright orange color and pink. Look at that. Just absolutely gorgeous. All right, here we have more cornflower. Oh, look at that, friends. Just look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm just lost for words. It's so pretty. Definitely a must in your garden. Echinacea, they bloom all the way into fall. As you can see, they're a pollinator attractor. They provide great winter source for the birds when there's no food around for our pollinators, especially the birds, right? So I just leave the cone head to dry on the flower, and the birds love to come and eat. A lot of these, friends, they reseeded, as I said before. Like even behind here, do you see that? I did not plant. I probably planted maybe 3 echinacea behind here, if not 4, but that's it. And they just got bigger and they just reseeded themselves, and I'm not complaining because I'm just loving it. I think I just disturbed the bees there. Definitely a must. So tolerant, loves the heat. It just makes you happy. Let's add the extra attributes there. Echinacea makes me happy. All right, and then right there we have 2 rows of Sharon. They're white. They're already starting to form the buds. This will be their second year behind there. And here's our blushing bright hydrangea. Look at that, tucked in with the hardy hibiscus in the back there. And then here is this other echinacea. I had my eyes on it last year because I saw a tiny seedling on the ground, and I knew I was gonna do this year. And just look at it. It got big and it started blooming already. Just look at that. And then let's go over here. We have coreopsis in here. And the lilies already bloomed. So I did some cutting back there. And in here I have tucked away, see they're hiding? There are lilies in the back there. And then I have some gladiolus. This is a red gladiolus, I think. Montauk daisy. That's for our fall blooms. And here one of my favorites, white liatris. Just love liatris. And friends, if you're wondering, right there in between I have some containers with seeds. I'm doing some seeds, so I just have them tucked in. So the birds and squirrels, they don't get into the seeds. I just have them tucked in there. And then here behind this is the Italian sunflower I told you guys about. Remember, we've been babying them, so they should be white, beautiful color. And look at this beautiful hydrangea behind it. Oh my goodness, just look at that. Looks so good. Everything is looking really good. And this is a cherry Rebecca. I'm waiting for it to open. That we did. And here's the other one in there. I think I'm gonna move it in the fall. Not a good spot for it. But I love how the heuchera corabels, I love how whimsical the blooms look like, right? Look at that. They make great cut flowers also. I just love the blooms on there. Very dainty. Another Montauk daisy. This is fall blooming. And excuse the AC, friends. Obviously the AC is on, so it's noisy. And friends, you see right there, that is a black-eyed Susan. I don't know how it got there. Don't put black-eyed Susans behind here. The only one I have is that new one here, this guy here. It's supposed to be a red one, and I just put it so that way it could play off of this dark color there. Maybe the birds did that, but I thought it was pretty behind there hiding. And this is just my stuff in the pot here. But absolutely gorgeous, friends. Just loving it. Just look at that. Alrighty, friends, let's pan around here. This is the fine ice hydrangea. You could see the blooms are coming out. Look at that. So next week you should probably see the blooms better, but it just started to come out. And then here's my hot red polka. Look at that, friends. And I have another one in here. I'm thinking I need to move them. They prefer full sun and being here's part sun. They do well, but I don't know. Maybe I'll move them. I'll see how they do this year. But I said the same thing last year. They bloom and everything, but I just feel like I need to put them somewhere else. But I will keep my eyes on them and see how they doing. And here's my baby banana plant. I potted up here from the mama plant, and some coleus I did from seeds, and we have balloon flowers underneath there. So that's that view. And then this is the rose garden. You saw where I did some pruning, tidying up, fertilizing, treating these roses. So this is what it's looking like here, waiting for those lilies to open and to give you a rose tour. And friends, here's this rose mallow I did with you from seeds. And our cleome is opening. Look at that. It's a purple white one. Let's see what else is blooming. And here we have more echinacea. Give you an update. This is our serendipity allium. That's a mouthful. Yeah, it's doing so good. And here's the liatris we did. These are the white ones. And friends, could you believe this peony bloomed? And I don't think I shared them with you. I remember I took clippings, but I told you in spring, everything just came really, really quick. And mind you, I was making videos every week, maybe 3 to 4 videos. And if I could find a clip, I'll put them in for you. These are the bare roots we did last year from, I think it was Lowe's, the 3 in the pack. Here's the other one there. They were absolutely gorgeous. Everything just came and went so fast. And here is the other serendipity allium from Proven Winners. Remember when I planted these with you recently? Oh, look what's here. Oh my goodness, cleome. I love it. And then here says verbena. I think this one is the verbena I did in the winter sowing method. Beautiful. I can't wait for it to get bigger. And here's the rose mallow I did also with you. Here's another rose mallow I did from seeds. And then here is a salvia. I need to come in and just clip off the tip here. Looks like it's starting to give me new blooms also. And here is some nasturtium I planted from seeds, and here's one in here too. I did them for the rose. It's supposed to attract the bad bugs that goes. They're supposed to attract the bad bugs that go to the rose bush. So I just planted some from seed in there. And that's my first time with nasturtium, believe it or not. Very easy to grow. Anyway, so this is this side. And I showed you the other side before. Oh, and here's another verbena too. Very excited. Here we have more nasturtium in here. I told you I did a lot of nasturtium around the roses. And then these are some calendula I did from seeds. Look at that, friends. The bud is there. I feel like they took forever to get big, but that's okay. And then here we have our hardy hibiscus. The sun is out. I'm hoping you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't know, I do collect hardy hibiscus. Proven winners, they have 10 or 11 in their summerific collection. So I'm always on the hunt to collect those I don't have in the garden because I just absolutely love hardy hibiscus. So as you can see, I have them in the back here where they just spread out because they get really wide and tall and they just take over the other plants around them. So I just have them behind here in the grass area, and I think it looks so pretty. And here's our Eden rose, looking so healthy with new growth on there, looking very lush. See the new growth, and here's the bloom. Smells so good. Have a very, very light smell. It has a very, very light, soft, feminine smell to it. All right, and then here's the hummingbird garden. I'm just showing you blooms galore in this backyard, friends. Blooms, I hope you can see. So this is the hummingbird lane. So we have liatris here, and then we have lilies, and we have a lot of cornflowers in between. Our milkweed coreopsis blooming too, as you can see. And here's this red Panama red coneflower from Monrovia we recently planted. And here we have coreopsis blooming here, more echinacea, and here is this beautiful cardinal flower. Can't wait for it to bloom. And then we have more lilies, more butterfly milkweed, and then we have a roselle. Oh, I can't wait for this to give me buds. Not just for the hummingbird, for me to make that drink, that sorrel drink I told you guys about. So the hummingbird lane is looking so pretty. Just look at that. I just love it. Everything is just radiating out here, and our moon garden is down there. And let's go over here to the flamingo garden bed, friends. Look at this. I have a lot of cleomes. Look at this. Some of them, I'm telling you, I dug some out, put them all over the garden. But look at this. This is like several plants in here. So just imagine what it's gonna look like. And keep in mind, one cleome plant, right? It gives you maybe 6 or 8 heads. So this is gonna get at least 6 feet tall, and it branches out and gives you heads. Oh, here it is. This is how much I love it. I kept the structure. This is the one from last year. I kept this here. And this is what the old one looks like. See what I'm talking about? The branching, yes. So pretty. I probably should take it out, but it is what it is. And here we have the yarrow, which got really tall. This is probably what is that? Maybe 4 feet tall. Very, very tall. And friends, remember I just pruned this with you and cut it back? Oh my goodness! Look at the buds already coming out. They were closed when we did this. I did this what, 2 days ago? And then just look at it. So pretty. Very important to deadhead and prune your roses and just to inspect them. And then here we have more liatris. We have a lot of pink in here, purple I should say, with white. And we have gladiolus here. See that? This is the gladiolus over there. And then I did some zinnia seeds in there. That's one going on there. And then here we have the gara, supposed to be pink. So flamingo garden bed, there's colors of the flamingo bird. And here's a cleome. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And then here's the flamingo celosia that we did together, friends. And here's one in here hiding. See that? I love it. And here's our blushing bride hydrangea. Absolutely gorgeous. And here we have more of the zinnias. And then here we have the pink yarrow. And you can see the liatris is already starting to bloom. It blooms from the top to the bottom, not the bottom to the top. You see, it blooms like that, go all the way down. I can't wait. This cleome make me so happy. You know, flowers make me happy in general. Just love my flowers. Friends, the sun just went or whatever I did. So let me show you the moon garden quickly. As I said to you before, I'm documenting the blooms because the blooms are coming and going. You know, plants bloom at different times, but let me show you what it's looking like. It's looking so good. Petunias are doing a great job. Look at the white yarrow, absolutely gorgeous. Friends, look at my column stock. Finally, oh my goodness, these are what I did from seeds. Love them. More petunias below. We have dusty mill I did from seed right there. Love it. Lilies already bloomed. And then we have more petunias here. And look, friends, you get a moment to see the lilies here. Look at this. The lilies I put in here, they do smell. That's the point of the moon garden, to not just white flowers, but also the smell, the fragrance, right? And then the astilbe, you can see the astilbe already bloomed. That was white, of course. And then, you know, I have this Peruvian daffodil, and I have more over there, friends, and they did not do anything for me this year. And they should be blooming this year, and I thought it was weird. Nothing at all. Even those I have over there, no blooms, no buds, nothing from them. I thought that was very unusual, and I don't think they bloom in their second year, but we'll leave them in here and see what happens next year. And then this is just the boxwoods we did, friends. And here's my white cleome. Just look at that. It was blooming. It's so tiny. I think I might give it some fish fertilizer because I had it in the seed tray for a while, and don't mind those weeds. Here's another cleome here, and here we have gladiolus in the back. These are white gladiolus. And then this, friends, this is a cookies and cream hardy hibiscus from Proven Winners. Yes, I put one in here. So obviously the blooms are all white. It's so pretty. I had it over in the yard, and I dug it out and I put it here because of the color. And then we have liatris here. You can see we have some buds coming up here. We have some white roses already bloomed. Should be getting more blooms from them. So that's what that's looking like. And then this is a magnolia tree. This one is the Jane magnolia. It bloomed already in spring, and I have one over to the left, which is the and magnolia that should be blooming in summer also. This bloom in spring, the other one blooms summer and spring. So I think the moon garden is looking really good. The plants are really doing great in here, absolutely great. And then, friends, look at the backdrop, okay? Look at the hostas behind here. Just look at the blooms on the hosta. I came in here and I cleaned it up, cut back some foliage in here, pull out some weeds, and cut back some of the hosta leaves, because believe it or not, they were kind of taking over some of the plants. You can even see some of these plants. Do you see that? I think this is a columbine I have here. The hosta was covering it, so I came in here and I just cut back some of the leaves so the plants could get some air between, and the other shade loving plants can get some sunlight. It's not all about the hostas here. There's a lot of plants in here, but let's take a moment to enjoy these beautiful blooms. I even cut some of these to put in a bouquet. I think they're so pretty. Look at that. I feel like hosta blooms are so underrated. They make great cut flowers, friends. They're just beautiful. And I just love the backdrop when I'm standing over here and I see these blooms looking at me from the front. So this is what the back is looking like. Just showing all the blooms we have. And I have to give you an update on my Vigo veggie garden raised bed, friends. I'm telling you, my veggie game, trust me, I step it up this year. Look at this. I'm gonna show you really quick, but I'll make a video and give you a tour of it. But friends, just look at that. I'm not sure if you saw when I did this, but if you did, let me know and you'll see what I'm talking about, the growth from it. Look at this bee there. It's like a baby honeybee. Just look at that, friends. Absolutely gorgeous. I picked some cucumbers, peppers. I've been picking from it. Look at this. There's a little, let's go this way. Look at that, see that? We have cucumber underneath there. I picked some. I actually cooked with most of what I picked today. Yes, put in my chicken. It's just, I'm telling you, this is doing great. Let's nasturtium here. Look at that. These I did from seeds. Most of these I did from seeds. Look at that. And as I said to you, the nasturtium, I use it around the roses and in here, so that way the bad bugs can go to the nasturtium and leave my veggie and my roses alone. But let me show you this. Remember, it's all about the blooms. And then in each corner here, I tucked in Italian sunflower. Look at that. Aha, hello, sunflower. So pretty. I just love the creamy look. It's just so beautiful. And I just put it here to help with the pollinators. And I think because I have so many flowers in the garden, I don't think I will have an issue with pollinators coming to the raised bed, but just to give it an extra right? But I'll give you a tour of this another time. But I am just lost for words. Look at it. Do you see that? It looks so good. Mission accomplished here with my veggies. All right, friends, let's go back over the patio and end the video over there. All right, friends, back on the patio, and let's take in this beautiful look of this echinacea outburst of colors going on in the back here. It's just gorgeous behind here. It really is. So put some echinacea in your garden, friends, and expect them to reseed for you. Once again, don't go cutting the blooms off. Leave some up in the winter for the birds, and the birds will go to this cone head, seed head I should say, and they will fall on the ground and it'll make you more echinacea. Yes, but I just enjoying this, and I just love how this side is looking. It's so pretty from inside. And then not sure if I show you this. Here's my banana. This I got from Monrovia last year. It was on clearance, I think, for was that $7. It was a random one, and I brought it inside the house. It was in the fall, right? I'm in zone 7, so this will not survive my zone. So I brought it inside the house and I took care of it over the winter. And I had it by the window right here, friends, and I brought it back out in late spring, and look at it. I got I have like 4 babies from it. I share some with my sweet neighbor friend up the road, and I potted up some. I think I shared up earlier in the video with you, but look how it's doing, right? And this one is a variegated one. You could see the black stripes on the leaves, and it loves the shade, so that's why it's tucked in there. And then I also put a canna lily in there. I'm testing, hoping that would come back for me, because normally if they're at the side of the house, the canna lily would come back, but they're not supposed to. But if they're by the house, they will come back. Yes, friends, just look at this. The garden is just looking so pretty now. I'm like, I have to capture this for you guys. Have to. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm still waiting to see my hummingbirds over there. Not maybe a couple of weeks they'll come by. And I captured a monarch butterfly in the front, but I'm going to share that in another video with you when I'm doing the front toe. It's so beautiful, friends. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, fishes, they know when it's time to eat. They actually come over here. Hello. All right, friends, I'm going to go inside and have my dinner and enjoy the rest of my night. Hope you guys are doing well and you're enjoying your garden. Remember to take a moment to just sit back, relax, and just enjoy it, okay? The last couple of days I've been having breakfast on the front porch. I just sit there and I just relax. And then today I was in the back here underneath the shade and I just sat there. I did some gardening stuff, but like garden work, but I just sat there and just relaxed. It's so hard for me to relax because I feel like there's always something to do in the garden. I just can't sit still. But just a reminder to you and myself just to sit back and enjoy the garden and look at your work. Look at what you did. Look at your hard labor, right? Planted these from seeds, planted these from small clearance plant, and I did what I need to do, take care of the plants and watch them and enjoy all these blooms, and most importantly, sharing my garden with you guys. You guys are my friends and I love to share my garden with you. See you in the next one now. Cheers.